All right, this is a Voodoo Band. It's one tool you can use to improve joint function and the way everything works around your joint, fixing muscle tissue above and below the joint as well. So a very effective tool. A lot of the times you need a friend to wrap you in order to utilize this tool. If you're gonna do your elbow, your wrist, your shoulder, you're gonna need a friend to help you wrap the joint. If you're doing your hip, knee, or ankle, you should be able to do it yourself. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do it on my knee. And the point of doing it on your knee, or the point of doing it on any joint that you need fixing. So when let's talk about wrapping technique. When you're wrapping your joint, it's very similar to wrapping a swollen joint. So if you've ever seen a wrapped joint because someone twisted it or hurt it, when you twist your knee and everything swells up, you're going to want to wrap towards the heart. So you're wrapping up towards the heart. However, when we're just dealing with tissue that needs to be mobilized, you can wrap any direction. You want to create pressure above the joint and pressure below the joint. And how much pressure? Well, about a 7 out of 10, about an 8 out of 10 for pressure. We're going to be wearing this band for 2 minutes, so it can't be crushing us. So you can do this too tight and you can do this too light. So you're gonna have to practice a little bit with your friend or with yourself to find that correct intensity for yourself. Now, the more tension you can take and hang around that 7 out of 10, that 8 out of 10 marker, that's a better place for mobilizing tissue. If you're stuck around that 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10 place, you're not going to be mobilizing tissue as effectively. So work on it, master that wrapping technique. So I'm going to work on wrapping my knee joint here, and just to show you that there's nothing wrong with wrapping away from the heart, I'm going to do that here. I could start down here, but today I'm going to start up here. So we're going to have the band like so. I'm starting a few inches above my knee joint, starting in a fairly straight posture through my knee. I'm getting this band solid so it's not going to move now, okay? I can hold it with one hand. So now I can focus on half bandwidth, so I'm not overlapping, I'm half overlapping the band, and I'm going through the whole leg here. Now I don't want to cover the knee, I don't want to cover the joint or the elbow. I'm going just underneath the knee now. Okay, we want to compress the tissue above and below the joint. So now that it is on, I can tuck this last piece into the band here. And usually, if it's nice and tight, your wrapping partner should get it in quickly so that you're not dying. All right, so that's nice and tight now. Now the beauty of the Voodoo Band, once it's on, you set a timer for 2 minutes. I don't want you guys having this Voodoo Band on for more than 2 minutes because it is restricting blood flow. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. So we'll talk about why it's a good thing. So anyways, we're restricting blood flow here. Set your timer for 2 minutes. Now the beauty of mobilizing your tissue with this Voodoo Band on is you can actually perform the function that you're trying to improve. Let's say your squat is giving you pain. Well, you wrap up your joint and then you can actually squat with the Voodoo Band on. Now, squatting with the Voodoo Band on actually mobilizes the tissue during the movement that you're having a problem with. So this is immediately specific to what you're trying to improve. You can also do lunges to improve the function. Let's say you're sitting at a box. You can also do knee flexion and extension here. So this is just opening up all the muscle tissue. I don't want to get too scientific here, but we're improving the way the tissue is sliding and the way the muscles are sliding underneath the skin and around the fascia, and we're also restricting blood flow. So by restricting blood flow, we're getting old blood out. We're about to get old blood out. Once I take this off, okay, we're just taking it off. No fancy way to take this off. Now watch this, maybe you'll be able to see this on the video. But look at my white knees, that's from taking a knee all the time. But now, through this leg, I'm getting more blood flow. And more blood flow means healing. More blood flow means fresh nutrition to that joint. And you can see that this area is now more red than this area. That's increased blood flow to this joint. So I have improved the blood flow to this joint, which is helping me heal, which is helping me speed up the healing time through this area. So the Voodoo Band is great not only for improving tissue around the joint, but also increasing blood flow to that area for a small amount of time. And increasing blood flow to that area should improve the healing rate. Okay, so that's the Voodoo Band. Again, only wear it for 2 minutes. Once it's on, go ahead and mobilize. If you've got your elbow wrapped, go through as many elbow flexions and extensions, go through this action, perform push-ups, perform bench press, perform any movement that you want your elbow to feel better with. Wrap your wrist. Again, all the movements you can think of while it's on for 2 minutes. Take it off, watch the difference in blood flow on each side. You can repeat that a couple times if you'd like. The more you practice, the better you get at this, and the more you know what you need. There's also a flexion gapping that occurs with this Voodoo Band. So when I had this area wrapped, this band is kind of clumped up behind my knee. And what that does is that actually helps when I'm squatting, instead of my joint ramming into the other part of the joint, because of that gap, because of this being in the way, my joint now has this gap or this space between the joint, and now it's functioning a little bit better. So this should help improve the joint integrity while you're doing this Voodoo Band work. So getting that gap in there is also good for knee mechanics, ankle mechanics, elbow mechanics, wrist mechanics. So play with the Voodoo Band, it's a lot of fun. Oh, that's cool, tied a knot. All right, good luck, have fun.